Alright guys, what's up? How are we doing today? Steve Mingle Co. This video is going to be about SEO in 2021. What's happening? What's new? Where things are going? So why don't we get started here? Basically, SEO has become increasingly localized. So everything from if you're a plumber in the Twin Cities or the Chicago area, it's going to really reflect around you being that local business in that local area. If you are a car sales or an auto dealership in a location, given the city or the suburban area, it's really going to start to trigger more and more how you're found on searches and search engines. And I'm not just talking Google. I think now a lot of people are going to like DuckDuckGo and trying to branch out a little bit even from the Google. So why don't we just take a look right here. Obviously, you're going to want to focus on your keyword research. And what is keyword research? Is basically just showing up in keywords that are related to your business. So like as a Miami web design firm, we show up when people do a search for Miami web design. So let's just take a look at that right now. Obviously, we have our Google My Business, which continues to show up in our ratings and being in the local area. So you can see we show up when people do a search for web design in Miami. And then you also have your local organic showings, and basically it's the same thing. You're pulling your website from a local search perspective. Web design in Miami, Miami web design, you'll find a similar thing. And that's how we really have begun to branch out. So making sure that the title tags of your page, so let's go back here to just our home page. You'll see that right here if you hover over, it's Web Design Miami, Final Web Design Miami, and then a quick phone number that reaches out to the business. And there's content within our articles that talk about being a local Miami web design firm. So all that is going to continue to play more and more into your SEO, and making sure that you have all of these metadata, meta tags, meta descriptions embedded. So web design in Miami, professional web design firm located in Miami. All of this is pulling on a local scale. But then not only that is that you have your Google My Business, which also is representing that we're in the local Miami area. So it is giving us that that local search options. And what else are we doing here in 2021 is not just the keyword research, but actually building out landing pages that are built around the keywords that you want to show up with. So here's an example of that is if you're familiar with Aventura web design, we also show up here because we have literally built a page based around the content that shows up. So Aventura website design and development, Aventura digital marketing, Aventura web hosting. So we're also showing up for that local Aventura location by building a what I call landing page. So we have obviously our URL description is in here. We also have our title tag, Aventura web design, and we do service the Aventura area. Yes, it's not as big as the Miami local area, but it still is a significant city within the South Florida area, and we do service people, I mean, really throughout the whole tri-area. But this is just another example of how we have these landing pages. So if you go down here, we have one built around Lauderdale web design. And we basically built this content so that we show up when people are searching for Fort Lauderdale web design. And that's just one example of implementing landing pages. Landing pages are structured around keywords that you have researched and that you've optimized content that is then driving the searcher to your website. And by implementing the meta descriptions, which again are just the piece of content that Google reads right here, which you can plug into all of your pages. Usually WordPress will have a little field for it, or whatever CMS you're using. Otherwise, just put it in the head tag of your HTML index file, and you will find that you can rank better within your search engine strategies. And I'm trying to be kind of quick with this because I could make a video about each one of these topics. And actually, if you do go to the pages on the site, you will find that each of these topics do have their own discussion. So then what are search engine friendly URLs? Basically, a search engine friendly URL is going to be similar to just having a URL structure that's first of all legible, readable in whichever language you're focusing in. I'm sure in most cases people watching this are going to be English, but make sure that all of these URLs and the URL structures are built around your page and your topic that you are searching for. So if we go back to Aventura web design, you will see that not only does Google pull it right here, but also here within the URL structure we have Aventura web design. So that's another technique that's becoming increasingly popular. So make sure if you want, you can go here to learn more about search-friendly URLs. There's a whole video on how to rank with search-friendly URLs and how to build out your pages. So if you're on the About Us page, it's structured for the About Us. If you're on e-commerce development, it's built out around the e-commerce development. So going back to our SEO, also make sure that you are using keyword optimized writing and content. I kind of covered that in the fact that you want to have the content of the page relevant to the keyword that people are searching. Make sure to include a sitemap in your site so that Google can go through and read your content easier than having to go from just the menu structure of your website. Basically, a sitemap is very easy to implement. Usually you'll find one in the footer. There's a lot of third-party plugins that create sitemaps for your business. Here's our browse sitemap. I can open it, but it's huge, so it takes a moment to load on our site. So I was actually going to probably slow things down a little bit. But going here, you can see, and like I said, we have literally, I think, 1,300 pages, if you include our blogs, that are pulling that content from. So you can see here, we've literally listed all of our different services, our different landing pages, digital services, some of the resources, some of the tutorials that we have, and all these things that are pulling from our sitemap that Google is then able to go through and read. And like I said, this is extremely long. We have a lot of landing pages, a lot of blog posts, a lot of content on this website to help us rank more and more within the Google search engine algorithm. And then kind of went over title tags. So going from there, you're going to find that more of it has become digital marketing. And what is digital marketing? Well, there's a lot that goes into digital marketing. It can include emails, it can include blogs, it can include social medias such as Facebook's, Instagram, LinkedIn's. All of these elements are pulling together to rank your website higher on your website or on the search engine algorithm. So once you go to like blog management, if we create a blog, we will usually go out there and then post that blog structure to a social media post within a Facebook or an Instagram or whatever platform we're using that will then link us back to our blog that we've created. So not only are these blogs creating new content for our website, but we're also able to go out there and connect them to all these social media platforms, which are then able to give us exposure on their outlets and drive that traffic from those sites back to our site, considering whatever type of content we are creating. And there's a lot of different social media outlets out there. Again, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, and then increasingly important is going to be video. And that's why, as you can see watching this video, that creating more and more video content is becoming important, because video is basically the future of taking in information. So if I just go down to one of our blog posts right now, I'll go to our web design blog. Here's a post for website design and development in 2021 that we created recently. As you can see, it has all of the content structured within the URL. It has a video and it has content to go along with it, because all of this coming together is way more important than having something that's just a content blog. And content blogs used to be more important in the past. However, going forward, you're going to find more and more that video, as internet gets faster, smartphones are more prevalent. People like to listen to stuff as opposed to read. So again, video content and pushing stuff out on outlets such as YouTube and Venmo have become increasingly important. And then I'll go just briefly into just email marketing. This is an older strategy that's been around for a long time. You can go and basically generate a list. I gotta refresh this, not sure why it's froze. But basically you'll be able to go forward and create a new email list that is then able to sorry, I had to pull this back up. Sometimes it freezes, and I think it's my MacBook. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm trying to wrap this up. So you'll find that you can basically create email lists, and this is something that you want to make sure that it's not about quantity of emails you send out, but about quality. You don't want to spam people. Spamming people is incredibly frowned upon in this day and age. So do not spam people. Make sure that you are creating email lists that are relevant to people who want to receive them and potential business clients. So with that being said, guys, I know it's a lot to take in. SEO, digital marketing in 2021. This is just a kind of an overview. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. If you want any help with any of these services, we're always here to help. And with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe. This stuff helps, and we will catch you in the next one.